Hi friends, welcome to Ashok IT. Myself Ashok. Today we are going to understand what is AWS cloud, why we need to go for this AWS cloud. Let's get started. What is AWS? AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. It is one of the leading cloud platform available in the market. AWS started providing IT infrastructure services to the companies from 2006 onwards. Now, the companies which are providing IT services are called as cloud providers. So Amazon company managing this AWS cloud, Amazon company providing IT infrastructure services to the companies. That means Amazon is doing cloud computing. Amazon company providing this IT infrastructure with the reliability, scalability, and low cost for many countries. Almost 190 plus countries are using this AWS cloud. Are you guys getting my point? AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. Amazon company providing IT infrastructure services through web. Amazon is the company which is managing this AWS cloud. AWS stands for Amazon Web Services, which is managing by Amazon company. Why they named it as web services? Here, through web, I mean to say through internet, they are providing the services to us to set up our infrastructure. That's why it is called Amazon Web Services. Whatever the infrastructure we need for our project execution, we can take the infrastructure from AWS cloud using internet. Amazon Web Services. Right. Sir, what is infrastructure? What is IT infrastructure? What is infrastructure? Why we need to take the infrastructure from AWS? So let's try to understand that. What is infrastructure? It is $1 million question. So if you want to understand any cloud, AWS, Azure, or GCP, first of all, why we need to learn these cloud computing technologies, how they are going to help us in our project development. So what is this infrastructure setup concept? Let us see some examples. Suppose if you want to start one school in your hometown, so you want to set up one school so that you can start providing education for the children's. If you want to set up a school, you need to take one building. In that, you need to set up boards, tables, chairs, markers, dusters, and you need to recruit teachers also. So that if you have this infrastructure, then you can start education business. You can provide the education for the people through your school. You need to take one building, school building. For that, you need to do all the setup. Power setup is required, lighting is required, and you need to purchase the boards. In each classroom, we need to set up a board. We need to set up a table, student tables and faculty tables, chairs for students sitting. For writing on the board, markers required, right? For erasing, that duster is required. So if we have this infrastructure, then only it can be called as a school, then only we can start that education. Are you guys getting it? School infrastructure, chairs, tables, markers, dusters, board, it is called as a school infrastructure. Similarly, if you want to set up one hotel, if you want to start one hotel business, then you need to take a big building. For that building, you need to set up electricity, power supply required, air conditioners, AC setup is required for each room in that hotel, and the tables required so that customers can come and sit on the tables, sit on the chairs and use the tables for eating. Tables, chairs, plates, spoons, like this. So if you want to run a food business or if you want to run a hotel, so like this, you need to set up the infrastructure to supply the food or to run your hotel. A building is required, power is required, AC is required, tables required, chairs required, plates required, spoons required, and you need to recruit the people also who will serve the food, who will prepare the food, who will clean the tables, who will wash the dishes, right? Everything you need to manage everything you need to manage in order to run this hotel, in order to run the hotel. Fine. Similarly, if you want to set up one project, we have seen to run a school, we need to set up some infrastructure for school. If you want to set up a hotel, we need some infrastructure for that. Similarly, if you want to develop one software project, if a company wants to develop a project, if a company wants to run a software project, to develop the project and to run the project, we need some infrastructure. So to develop a project, whatever the infrastructure is required, that is called as IT infrastructure. To set up a school, school related infrastructure required. To set up a hotel, hotel related infrastructure required. Similarly, to develop and execute one software project, we need IT infrastructure. So what resources we need? What resources are called as IT infrastructure, which are required to develop a project? In order to develop and execute a project, we need some computers, some machines we need, and we need web servers to run our applications, application servers required, database servers required, load balancer required, network required, power is required, storage required, security is required, and monitoring is also required. These all comes under IT infrastructure resources. So if you want to develop a project, if you want to execute a project, we need some infrastructure. That infrastructure is called as IT infrastructure. Without machines, we can't do anything. So we need to purchase the machines. We need to purchase the servers. We need to purchase application servers. We need to purchase the database servers. We need to set up load balancer, network, internet connection is required to run our application. And we need power, electricity is required, and a power backup, 24/7 power is required. And we need to have a storage to store our application data, and we need to have a security for our data. We need to have a privacy and a security for the data, and we need to monitor all these machines, all the servers, how they are running, what is the CPU utilization of a machine, how the server is processing the request, how the database server is behaving. Okay, all these things we need to set up in one room. We need a building to store all these machines and servers. For that room, we need internet connection, we need power, we need power backup, security guard is required. Along with this, we need to recruit some people who will work with all these machines, who will work with all this infrastructure, right? So some, to work with the database administrator required. To work with server admin is required. To work with networking engineer is required. Security experts are required, and some monitoring people are required. So we need to set up all this infrastructure, then only we can run our application. It is called as IT infrastructure. I hope you got my point. AWS is providing IT infrastructure. That means what AWS is providing? AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. AWS is one of the cloud platform available in the market. So AWS providing IT infrastructure through internet. They are providing IT services over the web. That's why it is called Amazon Web Services. I hope you got the clarity. What is IT infrastructure? So the softwares, the hardwares that are required to run our application is called as IT infrastructure. Okay, now here we are going to purchase that infrastructure, and we are going to set up that infrastructure. So to purchase the infrastructure, we need to spend money. We need to purchase machines, we need to purchase servers, we need to purchase network, we need to purchase the power, we need to take a room for rent, we need to purchase AC for that, and we need to recruit the people in order to configure that infrastructure. Then only our project can execute. We need to recruit a database, the people who are experts in the database. We need to recruit the DB admins. We need to recruit network administrators. We need to purchase the computers. We need to purchase server licenses. We need to purchase the network. We need to purchase the power. Once we have purchased all these things by spending money, then we need the people to set up everything to run our application. Okay, here also we need to do all these things, and we need to set up these things. Then only we can deploy our application and we can run our application. Once the application is deployed to server, we need to monitor our infrastructure. how servers are running, how network connections are happening, what is the speed of the network, how the power is supplying to our machines, is there any power cut, is there any power cut, is the power is sufficient to run our machines, is the network speed is sufficient to run our machines, how the servers are running, how much load is coming to the servers, how the servers are responding, how much data is stored into the database, what is the capacity of our database. All these things you need to monitor to run your application successfully. So monitoring the infrastructure, setting up the infrastructure, purchasing the infrastructure, setting up the infrastructure, monitoring the infrastructure, is that these three are very important concepts when you want to run your application successfully. So first one, you need to spend the money and you need to purchase the infrastructure. And the second one, you need to set up the infrastructure. If you can't set up, you need to recruit the people who can set up that infrastructure. Then you need to monitor the infrastructure. If there are any problems, we need to fix the problems. Then only we can run our application. So maintenance is also required. So this is a headache, right? So we need to concentrate on our application development and we need to concentrate on our business growth, right? But here we need to set up the infrastructure, we need to manage the infrastructure, we need to monitor the infrastructure. Our focus should be on the development or our focus should be on the infrastructure now. If you are doing both, then it is a time taking process. It is a burden for you because you need to concentrate on your business. You need to concentrate on the development. You need to concentrate on your business growth. And you need to concentrate on the infrastructure also. This is the problem. So to overcome this problem, nowadays, companies are going for cloud computing. Okay. Now here we can work with our infrastructure. Okay. So assume that we have money, you have money, company is having money, company purchased that infrastructure, company configured everything to run the application. So just if you purchase, infrastructure will not be ready. After purchasing the infrastructure, we need to set up that infrastructure. When you set up the infrastructure to run your application, that infrastructure is called as on-premises infrastructure. That means we are purchasing the machines, we are purchasing the servers, we are purchasing everything, we are recruiting the people, we are configuring everything to run our application. That is called as on-premise infrastructure. So if you go for infrastructure setup on your own, then what are the problems? What are the challenges? The first challenge is security. How you will manage the data, how you will secure your servers. You need to take care of security. And second issue that we are going to face, scalability. If so many people are accessing our application, then we need to increase our servers count. If less number of people are using our application, then we need to decrease our servers. So always you should be able to perform your application. Always you need to manage your application with the load that is coming to your application. You need to configure the infrastructure in such a way your application should be able to handle any number of requests which are coming. If 1,000 people are accessing our application at a time, our application should run as expected. If 1 lakh people are accessing our application, it should run. If 1 million people are accessing our application, it should respond for 1 million people also. If you run your application with one server, then it may not be able to handle that load. Then if the load is increasing, then you need to increase the capacity of your infrastructure. If load is decreasing, then you need to decrease the capacity of your infrastructure. So always you should be able to perform your infrastructure scalability. If required, then we should be able to increase it. If not required, we should be able to decrease it. That you need to take care of that scalability. And second one is availability. 24/7 your servers should execute 24/7, because your application will be accessed from different locations, morning, night, evening, afternoon, at any point of time. 24/7, 365 days your servers should be up and running. You cannot say that today there is a power cut in Hyderabad, my application will not be available today. If you say that today there is no power in Hyderabad, my application cannot work today, then you will lose your business. Customers will lose the trust on your website. Customers will not believe you. So we cannot say such kind of reasons. Today there is no power, today it is raining here, our server will not be accessible, please access my application tomorrow. Such a kind of stories we cannot tell to the customers. We need to take care of all those issues when we are maintaining our infrastructure. Our infrastructure should be scalable, our infrastructure should be available. And another thing is network issues. Generally, if you might have observed it, so when there is a rain in our area, that day our internet connections will become slow, power supply will not be available, internet will be disconnected sometimes, internet connections will be slow, internet connection will become slow, network issues will be available, poor network issues will be available, then customers will not be able to access your application properly, customers will not feel happy with your application if it is having a poor network connectivity. All these issues. And the next one, disaster recovery. For example, you have configured your servers in one location. In that location, earthquake happened. Your servers got damaged. Your server room got damaged. Your servers got crashed. Then what about customers' data? Can you say that earthquake happened here? My building got collapsed. I lost everything. Can you say that story to the customers? Will customers accept it? No. So disaster recovery is one of the major issue, network issue, availability, scalability, security, privacy. All these challenges will be available when we set up infrastructure on our own to run the project. So in order to overcome all these issues, nowadays, companies are not showing the interest to set up the infrastructure. Companies are going for cloud computing concept. Now here, in order to develop a project, in order to run a project, we need IT infrastructure. That IT infrastructure we can purchase and we can manage. If we purchase the infrastructure, if you configure that infrastructure to run our application, then that is called as on-premise infrastructure. We need to purchase the machines, we need to purchase the servers, we need to purchase a network, we need to purchase a power backup, security, security guard, AC, and we need to recruit the people in order to set up everything, in order to monitor everything. That is called on-premise infrastructure. If you don't want to take that burden, I need to spend a lot of money to purchase and I need to dependent on the people to set up the infrastructure and I need to monitor that infrastructure, I need to manage that infrastructure, lot of challenges will be available. Instead of that, instead of we are configuring the infrastructure to run our application, we can go for cloud computing concept. We can go for cloud computing concept. So there are so many cloud platforms are available in the market. One of the cloud platform is AWS. AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. So if you go for this AWS, what is the advantage? As we have seen in the previous slide, AWS is one of the leading cloud platform in the market. That AWS cloud platform is providing IT infrastructure for us. Whatever the infrastructure that you need for your application development or for your application execution, you no need to purchase, you no need to set up, you just take it from AWS. You just take it from AWS. So like that, there are several cloud providers are available in the market. Those cloud providers are going to give you IT infrastructure for rent. You need machines, you can take from the AWS. You need a database, you can take it from the AWS. So if you take machines, that power, that security, that network, that power backup, disaster recovery, everything will be taken care by cloud provider only. You just need to pay the money and use the service. That's the reason nowadays most of the companies, almost all the companies are going for cloud computing concept. So here we need to develop one project in our company. We got a client has given the requirements. I want to start one e-commerce business. Can you develop a project for us? Now here we can develop a project by choosing some technology like Java, Python, .NET. There are so many technologies are available in the market to develop one e-commerce application. Here we are going to choose the technology and we are going to write the code. We are going to develop the application, but only the technology is not sufficient. So we know Java. Only with the Java, we cannot develop the application. Along with the Java, we need some infrastructure also. We need computers to run our application. We need database to store the data. We need a network. We need storage. We need security. We need power for our servers. We need to install the server. We need to configure the network. Lot of things we need to do to run our project. So for developing the project, technologies are available. What about infrastructure? Here, we need to purchase the infrastructure. We need to manage the infrastructure that is called as on-premise infrastructure. If you go for on-premise infrastructure, then what are the problems? These are the issues. You need to take care of security. You need to take care of scalability. You need to take care of availability. You need to take care of poor network issues. You need to take care of disaster recovery. You are responsible for development as well as for infrastructure also. You are responsible for development as well as for infrastructure also when you are purchasing the infrastructure and when you are setting up that infrastructure. So you need to spend lot of money to purchase the infrastructure, and you need to recruit highly skilled people in order to set up your infrastructure. It is a costly operation and it is time taking operation. It is a costly operation and it is time taking operation. Okay, so we are spending crores of rupees and we are going to purchase the infrastructure. We are going to spend crores of rupees and we are going to purchase the infrastructure. Okay, fine. If a business is running properly, then no problem. Client will pay the money for the maintenance. Our client business running successfully. Client project is running successfully. Client is paying the money to the company so that we can maintain that infrastructure. For example, if the business is not running for the client, if business is not running for the client, then client will not pay the money. Then what about our infrastructure? We spent crores of rupees to set up this infrastructure. We purchased all the servers. We purchased all the infrastructure. That is going to become waste because business is not running. We spent a lot of time. We spent a lot of money. Our money got wasted. Our time got wasted. So to overcome all these issues, nowadays, companies are going for cloud computing concept. If you go for cloud computing concept, you no need to bother about the infrastructure because cloud providers will take care of infrastructure which is required for you. You just focus on your project development. You just focus on your project development. Infrastructure will be taken care by cloud provider. Are you guys getting my point? So here, if your business is running, then you can pay the money for that infrastructure. If your business is not running, then you no need, you can stop it. You no need to pay the money for them. So here, cloud provider will give you the infrastructure based on pay as you go pricing. That means if you use it, then only you pay for that. If you use it, then only you pay for that. So here, there are so many advantages are available when we go for cloud computing. Are you guys able to understand? So to develop a project, we need infrastructure. We can work with infrastructure in two ways. One is on-premise infrastructure. That means everything we are going to purchase and we are going to configure. It is also called as in-house infrastructure. In our company, we are going to set up the infrastructure to run our application. That is one approach. And the second approach is using the cloud infrastructure. Using the cloud infrastructure means somebody will provide the infrastructure which is required for us. So if you go for in-house infrastructure, we have to purchase, we have to set up, we have to monitor, we have to take care of maintenance, everything we have to take care. We are responsible. It is costly, time taking, risky. So to avoid all these issues, we are going for cloud computing. There are so many cloud providers are available in the market. Cloud providers will give the infrastructure which is required for us. So that is the reason nowadays lot of demand is there for cloud computing in the market. The future of IT is completely cloud computing. No company is interested to take this risk, man. Why to waste our money? Why to waste our time? Let's go for cloud computing. They will give the infrastructure for us. Just to pay the money, use the infrastructure. A simple example. So in your house, there is a function. For example, your marriage function. For your marriage function, you are inviting your friends, your relatives, your neighbors, everybody coming for attending your function. So when the relatives, friends all are coming to your house for the function, then you need to set up chairs, you need to set up tables, a stage, decoration, food, everything you have to arrange. So for your function, can you purchase 1,000 chairs, 500 tables so that the guests can sit on the chairs, can use the tables? Can you purchase 1,000 chairs, 500 tables for your marriage function? Will anybody do that? Will anybody do that? No. Why? Because it is costly. Purchasing 1,000 chairs, purchasing 500 tables, purchasing the stage is a costly operation. And that too, we need that chairs tables only for 2 days. Our marriage function will be there only for 2 days or only one day. After these 2 days of time, there is no use of those chairs, there is no use of those tables. So why to purchase them? Let's take the chairs and tables for rent. In our village, tent house shops will be available. Those people will provide those materials, whatever the chairs you need, whatever the tables you need, whatever the decoration material you need, whatever the kitchen material you need, they will provide everything for rent for 2 days, 50,000 rupees or 1 lakh rupees. They will give the infrastructure for rent. So you will use the chairs tables for your marriage function. Once the function is completed, you will return that material to them. So this is simple. Instead of purchasing the chairs and the tables, we are going to take them for rent. Same concept is applying in the IT also. Instead of purchasing the machines, servers, database, everything, we can take that infrastructure for rent. The companies who are providing the IT infrastructure for rent are called as cloud providers. There are so many cloud providers are available in the market. Are you guys getting my point? What is on-premise infrastructure? What is on-premise infrastructure and what is a cloud infrastructure? On-premise infrastructure means we need to manage everything. Cloud infrastructure means somebody will manage the infrastructure which is required for us. Clear? Let's move on. Next, what is cloud computing? Cloud computing is the process of delivering IT resources over the internet. Cloud computing. AWS is doing cloud computing. Azure is doing cloud computing. GCP is doing a cloud computing. That means what is the business of AWS? What is the business of GCP? What is the business of Azure? They are providing IT resources over the internet. They can provide you virtual machines, they can provide you security, they can provide you servers, they can provide you database, they can provide you power, they can provide you network, storage, computing, whatever the infrastructure you need to develop a project and to run a project, they are going to provide you. That is called cloud computing. Cloud computing is the process of delivering IT resources on demand basis. For my project development, I needed 10 servers, I need one database, I needed 10 machines, I needed 10 machines, I need 10 servers, I need a database. Everything I can get from the cloud provider just within fraction of seconds of time, within fraction of minutes of time. Whatever the infrastructure that I need, the ready-made infrastructure is available with the cloud providers. We can just use their infrastructure with the help of internet. That is called cloud computing. Cloud computing is the process of delivering IT resources over the internet on demand basis. Whatever the infrastructure you need, how many servers you need, what database you need, what network you need, what power capacity, security, everything, storage, security, network, power, machines, servers, database, everything, whatever you need to develop a project, whatever you need to run your project, everything will be available in the internet. Ready-made infrastructure is available. Instead of we are purchasing and we are setting up, we are maintaining, we are monitoring, instead of we are taking the risk, we can use the infrastructure which is already available. Simple example, now for your birthday you want a new dress. How many of you going to the cloth shop, taking the cloth and going to tailor shop, giving for stitching? Anybody doing that in this generation? Anybody doing that in this generation? Going to shop, purchasing the cloth for shirt cloth, pant cloth, go to the tailor shop, give it for stitching, shirt stitching, pant stitching. Are you doing that? or we are purchasing a ready-made dress, ready-made shirt, ready-made pant? Is there anybody in this session who is going for tailor shop to stitch the shirt and pant for stitching purpose? I don't think so. I don't think so. 20 years back, 20 years back, I have seen that process. Purchasing the cloth, going to tailor shop, giving for stitching. After 3-4 days, they will give our shirt and pant. Sometimes the measurements will go wrong. Shirt will be till up to the knees. Pant will be, the length will not be matched if the measurement is going wrong. So nowadays people are not interested to do such a kind of work. Everybody, if tomorrow our birthday, then today night we will go to shopping mall, we'll purchase the ready-made shirt pant, will come to our home. Within 1 hour, your dress will be ready. Ready-made dresses are already available in the shops. You just need to pay the money, check your measurements, purchase the shirt pant and come to your home. Within half an hour, you can get a new dress. And that too nowadays, you no need to go to the shop also, you just place a order. Within 1 day, Amazon company delivering your clothes to your house. Flipkart, Amazon, Myntra, so many e-commerce sites are available who are delivering the products to our house directly. In our father's generation, if they want to purchase a new dress, what is the process they used to follow? They will go to a shop, they will purchase the cloth, they will go to tailor shop, there they will give measurements for stitching. The tailor will tell come after 1 week. That is how they used to deal with dresses in our father's generation. But today, how we are purchasing the dresses? Everything is ready made. So similarly, in order to develop a project, in order to run a project, you no need to concentrate on the infrastructure part because it is difficult, it is costly, it is a time taking process. Instead of we are doing all these things, we can go for cloud computing. There are companies providing you the ready-made infrastructure. You just use it for your project. How simple it is. So that is called cloud computing. So as the ready-made infrastructure providing by those companies, people are interested because our work is becoming easy now. We just need to focus on the development. Infrastructure will be taken care by somebody. We just need to focus on the development. Infrastructure will be taken care by cloud provider. That's why lot of demand is there for cloud computing in the market. Cloud computing is the process of on-demand delivery of IT resources over the internet. Ready-made infrastructure is available. These cloud providers are providing the infrastructure based on pay-as-you-go pricing. That means how much you use, for that you need to pay. Pay-as-you-go pricing. If you use the infrastructure for 1 month, you pay only for that 1 month. If you use the infrastructure for 1 year, you pay the money for only that 1 year. So they are providing the services based on pay as you go pricing. So instead of purchasing, instead of maintaining the servers, the machines, everything, whatever we need, we can take it from cloud provider. It in simple terminology, cloud computing, nothing but using ready-made infrastructure, which is already configured by someone. AWS already configured the infrastructure. We are going to use the infrastructure for our project. For using that, we are going to pay the money based on pay as you go pricing model. It is like a postpaid mobile bill. First, you use that SIM card, you make the calls, international calls, local calls, use the data for 1 month. At the month end, they will calculate bill amount. You need to pay the bill amount. AWS concept also same. Whatever the infrastructure you need, AWS will provide you that infrastructure based on pay as you go pricing. That is called cloud computing. These cloud providers will provide you everything: power, storage, network, database, server, on demand basis. Whatever you need, they are going to provide you everything. So here, is it recommended to go for on-premises infrastructure or cloud infrastructure now? If you go for on-premises, costly, time taking, issues, maintenance, monitoring, everything you need to take care. If you go for cloud computing, they will take care of that. We just need to pay the money. That's it. So I hope you got the concept. What is cloud computing and what is this AWS? AWS is one of the cloud computing platform available in the market. Amazon is a cloud provider company. Amazon company providing the cloud services that is called AWS Cloud, Amazon Web Services. Got it. Fine. What are the advantages of going for cloud computing? Earlier we have seen what are the issues with in-house infrastructure. In-house nothing but on-premise infrastructure. On-premise nothing but we are going to purchase the softwares, hardwares, we are going to set up, we are going to maintain. That is in-house infrastructure. If you go for in-house infrastructure, security, power, network, disaster recovery, scalability, availability, these all are the issues. Here, if you go for a cloud computing, infrastructure we are not going to maintain. Infrastructure will be managed by cloud provider. We are just going to focus on the application development. So what are the advantages of going for this cloud computing concept? The first advantage, pay as you go. If you use it, then only you pay for that. Cost is very less. If you want to purchase the servers, it is costly. As I told you, for a function, if you want to purchase 1,000 chairs, 500 tables, costly. If you take it for rent, within 1 lakh or 2 lakhs, you can complete your function. 2 lakh rupees you can pay as a rent for your function. Chairs, tables, stage, decoration, lighting, generator, power, everything. Within 2 lakhs, they will provide you. For example, if you want to purchase the 1,000 chairs, each chair 500 rupees. Assume that 1,000 into 500. Are you guys getting my point? Tables you need to purchase, electricity you need to purchase, generator you need to purchase, stage material you need to purchase, costly. So if you go for rent, cost is less. So pay as you go, low cost. These are the advantages. And the third one is scalability. Scalability means based on the demand, you can increase your infrastructure or you can decrease your infrastructure. If a more number of people accessing your application, for example, Flipkart application is available. In the normal days, 1 crore people are accessing that application. For Diwali, Flipkart announced Big Billion Day. 50% offer on every product in the Flipkart. Big Billion Day. That day, so many users are going to access the Flipkart application. Then definitely they need to run the project on more servers because more users are accessing. They need to increase the capacity of the infrastructure when the more number of people are accessing. When the less number of people are accessing, we need to decrease the capacity of our infrastructure. For example, if you eat just 2 idli in the morning, you can work for 2 to 3 hours. If you eat 2 idli, only 2 idli you have taken in your breakfast. With the 2 idli of energy, can you work 24 hours? Not possible. Maximum 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, you can work. If you want to work 24 hours, then you need to take 2 idli. Then again, you need to take lunch. Again, you need to take dinner. That means you need to consume more food. Then only you will get more energy. With that energy, then only you can do more work. Are you guys getting my point? If I give you just 2 idli in the breakfast, can you work for 24 hours? No, your energy will not be sufficient. So if I want you to work for 10 hours in a day, then I need to give you more food. I need to give you more energy. I need to give you more salary. Then only you will work for 10 hours in a day. So similarly, when more number of users are accessing our application, then we need to increase the capacity of the server so that it can handle more number of user requests. So scalability is one of the most important thing to run our business successfully. Whenever it is required, we need to increase the capacity of the infrastructure. Whenever it is not required, we need to decrease the capacity of the infrastructure. Cloud provider will take care of that. You don't need to worry. Scalability, that is their headache. Are you guys getting my point? You just need to tell them, today I need 100 servers. Within a fraction of minutes, they will give you 100 servers. I want 200 servers. Within a fraction of minutes, they will give you those 200 servers. Scalability will be available when you go for cloud computing. Next one, availability. 24/7, the servers will be available. 24/7, cloud resources will be available for us. Reliability. Whatever the infrastructure we are going to set up, for which purpose we are setting up the infrastructure, that infrastructure will serve that purpose. The strong infrastructure they are going to provide, reliability, strong infrastructure we are going to get, it is not going to fail. Whatever the cloud infrastructure we are going to take from the cloud provider, it is not going to fail. They are going to guarantee reliability, scalability, and availability. And security. Whatever the data we are storing in the cloud, that data is secured. If we are storing our data in the cloud platform, no other person can access our data. Cloud will not provide the access for our data for anybody. Only for the data owner, they will provide the access. Other people cannot access our data from the cloud. That security is guaranteed by cloud provider. And unlimited storage. How much data you want to store, that much data you can store. They are providing unlimited storage. How much data you want to store, that much space they will give you. For that space, they are going to charge the amount. Unlimited storage will be available. Backup, disaster recovery. They are having a plan for backing up our data. If our server got crashed, they will maintain the backup of our server. They will provide the data backup facility for us. So all these things will be taken care by cloud provider. These all are the advantages of going for cloud providing, cloud computing concept. Pay as you go, low cost, scalability, availability, reliability, security, unlimited storage, and backup facility. These all are the advantages. If we go for cloud computing, if we go for on-premise infrastructure, we need to take care of all these things. If we go for cloud computing, cloud provider will take care of all these things. Good, fine. Now, who are the cloud providers available in the market? AWS, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Platform, GCP, Salesforce. These are the famous cloud providers available in the market, cloud computing platforms available in the market. There are other cloud computing technologies, other cloud computing providers are also available in the market. AWS, Azure, GCP, Salesforce, IBM Cloud, Oracle Cloud, Alibaba Cloud, OpenStack Cloud, VMware Cloud. Like that, there are so many cloud providers are available in the market. The main business of these cloud providers, providing IT infrastructure over internet, providing IT resources through web based on the company demand, based on our requirement. Those people are going to provide the infrastructure based on pay as you go pricing. Got it? Pay as you go pricing, nothing but they are providing the infrastructure according to our requirement. Whatever the infrastructure we are using, for that we need to pay the money. So now let's come to our AWS. So in this course, we are going to learn about AWS Cloud. So what is this AWS? AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. AWS started providing the cloud services from 2006 onwards. On demand basis, they are delivering the resources over the web. So in the AWS, 200 plus services are available which are required for your project. Whatever the infrastructure you need for your project, they have divided that into 200 services, 200 plus. So we don't use all the services in one project. Based on the demand, we are going to use some services. Here I have listed down some of the services which I am going to cover as part of this AWS course. EC2. EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. By using EC2, we can create virtual machines in the AWS. We need servers. For that, we need machines. The machines can be created by using EC2 service. EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. Next one is S3, Simple Storage Service. S3, triple S, Simple Storage Service. It is providing unlimited data storage capacity. If you want to store unlimited data in the AWS cloud, then you need to go for S3 service in the AWS. RDS, Relational Database System. So if you want to set up one SQL database in the AWS cloud, like Oracle, MySQL, Postgres, MS SQL, such kind of SQL databases can be configured in the AWS by using RDS service. DynamoDB, NoSQL data, NoSQL databases, right? Not only structured data. I want to deal with unstructured data, semi-structured data. Then we will go for NoSQL databases. DynamoDB is one of the NoSQL DB that is provided by AWS. Route 53. Route 53 is a domain mapping service. So our application should be mapped to our domain name, www.facebook.com. So facebook.com is a domain name. It is mapped to Facebook application. When you send a request to facebook.com, Facebook website is opening. So how this domain name is mapped to the application? For that, we are going to use Route 53 service in the AWS. Next one, EBS, Elastic Block Store, which is used to store additional data. So we will use pen drives, hard disk to store our additional data, right? If in our laptop, if the space is not sufficient, we can store the data into hard disk. We can copy some data into hard disk. We can copy some data into our pen drive. Like that, we can use EBS, Elastic Block Store. We can use it to store additional data. Next one, VPC. VPC stands for Virtual Private Cloud. So here we are going to set up the infrastructure. For our infrastructure, isolated network is isolated network is required. Nobody should be able to access my resources in the AWS. We will configure isolated network for our resources in the AWS cloud by using VPC. VPC stands for Virtual Private Cloud. And the next one, ELB, Elastic Load Balancer. If my application running on one server, it may not be able to handle the load. So to distribute the load to the application, we are going to use ELB. ELB stands for Elastic Load Balancer. Next one, auto scaling, scalability. When the traffic is high for the application, I want to increase the servers. When the traffic is less, I want to decrease the servers. That we can do in AWS by using auto scaling concept. And the next one is IAM, Identity Access Management. In our team, multiple members are available. I don't want everybody to access everything in the AWS. I want to manage permissions. Database team should access only RDS service. DevOps team should access only EC2 service. Okay, networking team should access only VPC, like that. Who can access which service in our AWS can be managed by using IAM. IAM stands for Identity and Access Management. And the next one is Beanstalk. Beanstalk service, nothing but it is a platform as a service concept. You just develop your application. AWS will provide the infrastructure to run your application. You no need to set up the infrastructure also, which is required for your project. You just develop your project and upload your project code in the AWS by using Elastic Beanstalk. AWS will prepare the platform to run your application. That is called Elastic Beanstalk. Next one, ECS. ECS stands for Elastic Container Service. Elastic Container, which is used to run our containers in the AWS cloud. For example, Docker. I want to run a Docker container in the AWS. For that, we can go for this ECS service. And the next one is CloudWatch. CloudWatch is nothing but it is a monitoring service. It is a monitoring service. So whatever the resources we are using in the AWS, how the resources are performing, what is the behavior of the resources, are there any issues, such kind of monitoring we can do on the AWS resources by using CloudWatch. Next one is EKS. EKS nothing but Elastic Kubernetes Service. So it is used to run our Kubernetes cluster in the AWS cloud. SNS, simple notification service. Simple notification service. If you want to send any notification from the AWS cloud, for example, our server is not running properly. Our system CPU utilization becoming high. Our system CPU utilization becoming high. When the CPU utilization is becoming high, I want to send a notification to our management team. I want to send a notification to our management team. Such kind of notifications we can configure in the AWS cloud by using SNS service, simple notification service. Similarly, simple email service, simple queue service, SNS, SES, SQS. So like this, we can configure the notifications. Next one is Lambda. One of the powerful concept in the AWS, it is Lambda. AWS Lambdas are used to achieve serverless computing. What is the meaning of serverless computing? Most of the people thinks that serverless computing means servers will not be available to run the application. That is wrong. Serverless computing means you run your code without thinking about the server. That means you just give the code to AWS. AWS will prepare the server to run your application. AWS will take care of the server to run your application. So Lambdas concept available in the AWS, which is used to achieve serverless computing, which is used to achieve serverless computing. Lambdas, right? So Lambdas, the main concept, the main motto of the Lambda is run your code without thinking about servers. As part of this course, we are going to understand this Lambdas concept also. Whatever the services which I have mentioned here, all these services we are going to learn as part of our coming classes. right? From tomorrow onwards, we are going to start all these services. First, we are going to start our journey with AWS using EC2. EC2 service is used to create virtual machines. S3 is used for unlimited data storage, RDS for database, DynamoDB for NoSQL database, Route 53 for domain name mapping, EBS black store data, VPC for network, ELB load balancing, auto scaling, IAM user management, Beanstalk platform it will provide to run our application, ECS container service, CloudWatch monitoring service, EKS Kubernetes cluster, SNS notification, SUS email service, SQS queue service, Lambda serverless computing. All these things we are going to discuss as part of our course with the real-time scenarios, with real-time projects. Got it? So like this, there are 200 plus services available in the AWS, but nobody will use all the 200 services in one project. We are going to use 10 or maximum 15 services in our project's development based on the requirement. Got it? Let's move on. Now, AWS providing global infrastructure. It is not only for India, not only for US. AWS providing the infrastructure for 190 plus countries. How this AWS is managing the infrastructure for 190 plus countries? For that, they have a concept called region availability zone. In 26 regions, AWS is having the availability zones. Region nothing but one geographical location. Region nothing but one geographical location. In the India, AWS having Mumbai as a region. In the Mumbai, they are having 3 data centers. Okay, so we'll talk about regions and availability zones in the tomorrow session. For time being, understand that AWS having a global infrastructure, not only in the India, not only in the US, not only in the Singapore, not only in the Malaysia, worldwide AWS having the infrastructure. 26 regions are available for AWS, 84 availability zones are available for AWS to provide the infrastructure across the world. 190 plus countries are using AWS cloud services. Okay, fine. What is region? Region nothing but one geographical location. In one region, multiple data centers will be available. What is a data center? Data center nothing but a building where AWS already configured servers, network, power, security, backup, storage. Whatever the infrastructure we need, AWS already prepared that infrastructure. That is called data center building. So here I have given 2 diagrams, guys. One diagram is giving you top view of the data center. This is AWS data center building. This is how it is going to look like. In this building, they have lot of servers, lot of machines, power, network, backup, storage, security. So inside of the data center, you can see server rooms like this. AWS data center. Now we are going to connect to this AWS data center and we are going to take infrastructure for rent. We need servers. AWS data center already having the servers for you. We need database. AWS data center having the database for you. We need a network. We need power. We need security. We need storage. Everything already they configured. That is the business of the AWS cloud. Ready-made infrastructure is available for us. We just need to use the infrastructure from the AWS cloud with the help of internet. By using internet, we can access AWS infrastructure. That is nothing but AWS doing cloud computing. AWS providing the cloud infrastructure based on demand. Based on your requirement, AWS is going to provide infrastructure. How AWS providing infrastructure? They have a concept called region and availability zones. Region nothing but one geographical location. In the India, AWS having only one region as of now, that is Mumbai. In the Mumbai, AWS having region. In that Mumbai, they have 3 availability zones. Okay, in 3 different locations, AWS having this kind of buildings. 3 data centers available in the Mumbai for AWS. So they announced that Hyderabad is a upcoming region coming soon. AWS region coming to Hyderabad also. Currently, it is not available. In the India, currently it is available in the Mumbai with the 3 data centers. Data center nothing but a building where the AWS configured all the infrastructure. IT resources are configured in the data center. Right. So how many regions available? 26 regions available, 84 availability zones available in the AWS. We are going to connect it to the region and we are going to connect to the data center to set up our infrastructure. Got it? Fine, guys. So with this, we got the clear picture. What is cloud computing? What is on-premises infrastructure? What is cloud infrastructure? What are the challenges if you go for on-premises infrastructure? And what are the advantages if you go with the cloud infrastructure? And what is AWS? So AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. It is one of the cloud provider available in the market. AWS providing IT infrastructure over web on demand basis based on pay as you go pricing, right? So here in this course, we are going to learn AWS cloud platform, how to use AWS services, how to use AWS infrastructure, how to set up the infrastructure by using AWS to develop our project, to run our project as part of this training. So from tomorrow, the regular classes are going to start. Today, it is our first session, introduction session for AWS cloud. From tomorrow, we are going to start with AWS services. So tomorrow I'm going to explain you some more details about regions and availability zones. Then we are going to start with EC2 service, how to create a virtual machine in the AWS, and all those things we are going to learn. 15 plus services we are going to learn as part of this training. It is going to take 40 sessions. 40 sessions it is going to take daily. 1.5 hour session will be available. Timings are fixed, guys. The classes will be happening daily. Morning 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. IST time zone. 1 hour 15 minutes class will be available. Last 15 minutes of doubts discussion will be available. And the classes will be happening Monday to Saturday, 6 days in a week. The classes are going to happen. Regular classes will be available. And this training is completely online training. From tomorrow, the actual classes are going to start. 40 sessions it is going to take to complete the syllabus of this AWS. Timings 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Schedule Monday to Saturday, 6 days in a week, and it is online training. Okay, fine. So why to join with us? Why to choose us? So here, every class will be live. Hands-on live training will be available. Lab tasks will be available on daily basis. So whatever I'm going to discuss in the class, I will give you as a lab task that you need to practice after the session completed. So we are going to create one Telegram group also for our doubts discussion. If you face any problem, then you can post in that group and we can discuss in the next session. So, and I'm going to help you to solve that. Hands-on live training, lab task on daily basis, and real-time projects also will be covered as part of training. Soft copy material will be provided for you. For every topic, I'm going to give you the notes. Doubts discussions, doubts clarifications will be available. Backup videos, everyday class backup video will be available for you within 24 hours for revision purpose. Resume preparation, how to prepare the resume as a AWS cloud engineer. That resume preparation I'm going to take care. Interview questions, frequently asked questions in the companies I'm going to provide you. And placement assistance. So some companies are coming to our institute, they're asking the people who completed their training on the different technologies. Whenever we get a requirement on the AWS, then definitely first preference will be given to our institute students, then only we'll go for other people. So these all are the advantages if you join with Ashok IT. Got it? Fine, guys, thank you. If you are interested to continue these classes from tomorrow, so you can reach us. So this is our institute admin contact number. You can visit our website. Course details, Zoom link you can find in description of this video. So you can attend the regular classes from tomorrow. So don't miss this opportunity to become cloud expert. Thank you. We'll see you in the tomorrow session. Until then, bye-bye. Take care.